Hi, I am Dr. K. Sai Prasad Reddy. Welcome to the subject software testing. So today we are going to discuss interview questions, screening test questions, frequent asked questions and ISTQB model questions regarding the topic static analysis. This is part 2. Earlier we have prepared part 1 session. Now this is part 2. What is the key difference in the usage of static analysis tools? Key difference. So, 4 options are there. Developers use static analysis tools before and during component testing. Designers use static analysis tools during the software modeling. Developers use static analysis tools to check the syntax of their codes. Designers use static analysis tools to ensure adherence to the programming standards. Developers use static analysis tools before and after integration testing. Designers use static analysis tools to guarantee regulatory compliance. Developers use static analysis tools to check the syntax of their codes. Designers use static analysis tools after software modeling. So, we have to identify the key difference in the usage of static analysis tools. See, here, just in the earlier session regarding this static analysis tools, we have discussed the static analysis tools will be used by the software developers as well as designers. Software developers will use these tools before and during component testing and integration testing. Designers will use these tools during software modeling. This is a one. So here option B is wrong because developers use static analysis tools to check the syntax of their codes. Designers use static analysis tools to ensure the adherence to the programming standards. See, the designers, software designers and software architectures actually they are no way concerned to the programming standards. So that's why this statement is wrong. Next, the first option A, developers use static analysis tools before and during the component testing. Designers use static analysis tools during the software modeling. Yes, this is a correct option. So option D is also wrong. Why? Because developers use static analysis tools to check the syntax of their codes. Okay. Designers use static analysis tools after software modeling. It is wrong. During the software modeling or for the software modeling, they will use this tool. The next is developers use static analysis tools before and after integration testing. Designers use static analysis tools to guarantee regulatory compliances. So this is also wrong because the designers will use these static analysis tools for software modeling only. Right? So that's why option A is correct one. Like this, you have to analyze each and every statement, that is each and every option, and you have to choose the appropriate option. Next, who typically use this static analysis tools? It's a very simple question. No need to explanation here. Developers and designers. Because customers and users will never use this analysis tools. And the business and the system analyst. Business analyst and system analyst will not use this static analysis tools. System and acceptance testers also will not use this static analysis tools. Within these given options, A, B, C, D, you have to choose the appropriate and the correct answer. Which of the following tools do not run the code? Obviously, this is also a very simple question. So, static analysis tools do not run the code. So, the rest of the tools will run the code. Dynamic analysis tools, performance tools and load test tools. All these tools will run the code. Next, which of the following defect types are least likely to be discovered when using static analysis tools. So in the part 1, actually, the question is different with the option of memory leaks. Now, we have to choose the nearest option within these 4 statements, right? So, least likely to be discovered using static analysis tools. So, uncalled functions and procedures, it is not least likely. Memory leaks, yes. Some compilers actually, they cannot identify, they cannot discover the memory leaks, right? And some tools will be least likely to discover this memory tools, depending upon the context, depending upon the question and the options. We have to choose the correct option. Variables that are never used and coding standard violations. These are not least used. These are most likely to be used. These rest of options A, C, D are most likely to be discovered, not least likely to be discovered. Next, for which of the following activities is a static analysis tool not useful? That means for the following options, you have to choose the option for which static analysis tool is not useful. Yeah, enforcement of coding standards, detecting dependencies in software modules, calculation of complexity of the code, and quantitative analysis related to the tests. That means how many tests are passed and how many tests have failed, like this. This is the quantitative analysis with respect to the test cases. Now you have to choose not useful, right? So here, enforcement of coding standards, it is useful because the coding standards, the static analysis tools will be applied on the code to identify the coding standards, right? And yeah, quantitative analysis related to tests. This is not useful because here, I repeat, quantitative analysis related to the tests means, for example, say if there are 100 tests, after execution, how many tests are passed and how many tests are failed? When can we say this many number of tests passed and this many number of tests failed? After execution only. So execution means dynamic, not static. That is why option D is correct. And detecting the dependencies in the software modules. Yes, it is used because the developers will use this static analysis tool during the integration testing. Integration testing means, so the dependencies will be integrated by means of some interfaces. So that's why they will use this static analysis tools during integration testing. Right? Next, calculation of the complexity of the code. Yes, the calculation of the complexity of the code can be determined by static analysis tool. Right? So here you have to read the question carefully, twice and thrice, and you have to choose the appropriate option. Here he has asked the static analysis tool not useful. For A, B, C options it is useful. For option D it is not useful. Good. Next. See, static analysis tool related to coding standards, comparing the actual and expected results in offline, functional and non-functional execution, none of the above. So simple. So comparing the actual results and expected results, when the software test engineers will be able to compare the actual results and expected results after executing the test case. After executing the test case, execution means it is not related to static analysis tool, right? Next, so coding standards, right? This point we have already discussed. And the functional and non-functional execution. See, the system testing, if you take the example, system testing, the software test engineers are responsible to perform system testing. System testing is nothing but the combination of functional testing and non-functional testing. That means the test cases regarding the functional testing has to be executed. The test cases regarding non-functional testing is also to be executed. So execution means it is not related to static analysis tool. Here, what the question which is related to static analysis? So option A is correct. Next, which defect can typically be discovered using a static analysis tool? See, which defect can typically be discovered using a static analysis tool? Inconsistencies in numerical calculations, programming standards violations, problems related to the system usability, internal and external system reliability. Yeah, see, you have to choose the appropriate option which can be typically discovered. Yeah, here. So option B is correct because the programming standard violations can be typically discovered by using the static analysis tool. Inconsistencies in numerical calculations means the static analysis tool will not involve in a numerical calculations. Numerical calculations means it's nothing but execution. And option C, problems related to the system usability and internal and external system reliability. See, regarding this usability or reliability or maintainability, the role of the static analysis tool will not be there, right? So that's why option B is correct option. So these are really typical questions and tricky questions. If you practice these questions carefully by analyzing each and every option for each and every question, you can easily crack the interview and you can easily clear that screening test, or you can easily clear this ISTQB exam also, and it will help you more for getting more command on the subject. You have to analyze all the options, why it is right and why it is wrong. Next, a static analysis is a tool analyze a given program's control flow, among other things. Which of the following options represents the most likely outcome of the control flow analysis? See, control flow analysis. See, what is a control flow? Control flow, what are the topics that control flow will be covered? In control flow will be covered, infinite loops will be covered, and the coding standards will be covered, and the comments will be covered, right? So like this, all these things will be covered in the control flow. Now, see the options: report on adherence to the coding standards, number of source code lines, identification of unreachable code, number of comment lines. Here he has asked you, static analysis is a tool analyze a given program's control flow among the other things. Because the static analysis tool will work on some other things. But he has asked you clearly about the control flow. Which option is correct about the control flow? So here you have to read the question carefully and choose the option. Report on adherence to the coding standards, number of source code lines, identification of unreachable code. Of course, identification of unreachable code will happen during the static analysis tool, but this will not come under control flow, right? So, and the number of comment lines. Option D is the correct one. Next. Due to the importance of the software reliability, the project manager and the QA manager decided to execute on each new module code inspection, static analysis, and white box. The recommended sequence for these activities is simple. It's very simple. Though that question is a lengthy one, the content is very simple. That means he is asking, say for example, the project manager and QA manager has decided to execute a module like a code inspection, static analysis, and white box. What is the recommended sequence among these three? That is one: code inspection, static analysis, and white box testing. See option A, code inspection, white box testing, static analysis. It's wrong. Next, white box testing, first other two can be done in any order. That is also wrong. White box first, static analysis and finally code inspection. This is also wrong. Static analysis, code inspection, white box testing. This is correct. Because, see, if you take this option A, code inspection, after completion of code inspection, they will not go for white box testing. Static analysis is there. So, out of these three, this white box testing will be the last in sequence. White box testing will be the last in the sequence. So in this option, here is our white box testing in the last sequence, So option D is correct. Static analysis, code inspection and white box testing. Right? Yes. I think it is clear. Next. The main aim of static testing is, yes, the main goal of static testing is, what is the main goal or main aim of static testing? To find the bugs at early stage in the software development process, to reduce the cost of the rework, thereby increasing the productivity, to replace the dynamic testing, both A and B, both A and C. So, this is a simple question we have already discussed in multiple number of times. So, that is the one. Both A and B is correct. Because what is the main purpose of static testing? Static testing is to find the bugs at the early stage of the software development life cycle. That is in the requirements document, in the requirements gathering also itself. By finding the bugs at the early stage in the software development process, obviously the cost of the rework will also reduce and the productivity will be increased, because we are finding the defects at the early stage itself and we are removing, we are fixing, we are resolving those defects in the software development process. So both A and B are correct. See, but this static testing, why C is wrong? Because static testing will never replace the dynamic testing, because both static testing and dynamic testing has to be performed. There is no concept of replacing dynamic testing by the static testing. Static testing confined to the software code. Is it true or false? Static testing confined to the software code. Is it true or false? It is false, because the static testing is not confined. Static testing is not restricted, or static testing is not limited to software code, because static testing will be performed both on the documents, project documents, as well as on the code, right? So that's why this option is false. Next, static testing and dynamic testing are complementary methods. Yeah. So what it means? See, what is the main objective of static testing? To find the bugs. What is the main objective of dynamic testing? To find the bugs. So the both static testing and dynamic testing is having the same objective, to find the bugs. So obviously they are complementary, right? So that is true. That statement is true. Static testing and dynamic testing are complementary methods. Yeah. Which of the following is found during the static testing? Defects, failures, both A and B, none of the above. Very simple. This is the defects, not failures, right? So failures can be found only during the execution or after execution. So static testing will never involve in the execution. So that's why option A is correct one. So please subscribe my channel, share my videos to your all friends and students community, student groups, and also like my sessions. Please raise your comments in the comment box. Thank you.